Murphy's Law is once again in full effect for the Indiana Fever as Sophie Cunningham is ruled out for the rest of the season. So, what does this mean? They signed a new guard. Is Caitlin Clark ever coming?
Fans were hoping for excitement this WNBA season. But instead, they've been hit with heartbreak. Sophie Cunningham is officially out for the year after a brutal collision that many believe was no accident. And just when
But the Indiana Fever have announced that Sophie Cunningham will be out for the rest of the season. Just to give a little recap about what happened, basically the Indiana Fever were playing the Connecticut Sun and Bria Hartley. Not shocking that it was Bria Hartley. Bria Hartley is involved in many messes in the WNBA, including recently getting ejected from the Chicago Sky game for getting into it with Ariel Atkins after pushing Becca Allen to the ground. She got into it with Rickea Jackson from the Sparks. She yanked Angel Reese's hair, and I know that there's another one that I'm missing. Anyway, you get the idea. So on August 17th, in the game,
Clark's comeback was supposed to spark hope for the Indiana Fever. This devastating news has flipped the mood upside down. Let's get straight to it. Sophie Cunningham, one of the most popular players on the Fever alongside Caitlin Clark, Chloe Beebe, and Lexi Hull,
Cunningham's injury. So the Indiana Fever did report tonight that Sophie Cunningham will be out for the remainder of the season with a knee injury. Now, initially, the Indiana Fever didn't even report what the knee injury was. They just said that it would be season ending. However, Alex Filippo, she reported that Sophie Cunningham did tear her MCL and that she would be out for the rest of the season.
Has suffered a season-ending torn MCL. The cause? Bria Hartley of the Connecticut Sun crashed into her knee like she was trying out for the NFL instead of playing professional basketball. The result? A lost season, a furious fan base, and yet again, silence from the WNBA. No fines, no suspensions, no statement, just nothing. And that's what has fans the most angry, because this feels preventable. From the moment Sophie hit
is that it's an ACL, and that would be a very bad thing. Luckily, it was not a torn ACL, it was a torn MCL, which is a ligament on the inside of the knee. It very often happens when a knee is like hyperextended or like hit from the side. And so the Indiana Fever did announce today that Sophie will be out for the rest of the season, but luckily she will make a full recovery to be back for the beginning of next season. But I don't even know who is going to be on the Indiana Fever next season because the 2026 free agency is coming up and the landscape of the whole WNBA is going to look.
The floor, everyone knew something was wrong. The crowd gasped. The replay made stomachs churn. And instead of outrage from league
so effective down low, and she can get a lot of people
officials or a strong message that dirty play won't be tolerated, fans got crickets. That silence sends one message loud and clear. Play dirty. We don't care. Now here's why this stings even more. Sophie Cunningham isn't just another player.
Released a new episode of her podcast where she talked about this injury. So I wanted to just summarize for you guys what she had to say, what the updates are from her. And I'll start with saying she did confirm that it was an MCL tear. She also did confirm that she will be getting surgery on this MCL tear. And an MCL is also something that you don't always need surgery depending on the severity of the injury.
At 6 feet 1 inch, athletic, tough, charismatic, she was quickly becoming one of the breakout stars in the WNBA. She has the energy, the personality, and the game that fans connect with. The league should have been protecting her. But instead, they let this happen. And the timing couldn't be worse. Caitlin Clark is finally returning after missing games, and fans were ready to see her and Sophie side by side, ready to bring the Fever back to life. But now, that excitement feels tainted. The energy is gone.
There are growing concerns that veteran guard Bria Hartley intentionally took out Sophie Cunningham, who's out for the rest of the season with a torn MCL. First off, look at this play. Bria Hartley clips Sophie, sends her down, and then she smiles. That's what set everybody off. If this was just a tough basketball play, fine. But the fact that she smiled after, it seems intentional. But let's be real. This isn't the first time Bria's been in the middle of some drama. She's been in fights before. She has that reputation, and she even liked a post celebrating her being that player. And now there are fans that are calling for her to get kicked out of the league. That's how serious people are taking this. Now I want to hear from you guys. Was this intentional or just a rough basketball play?
Replaced with anger and disappointment. And let's be honest, this isn't just one unlucky injury. It's a pattern. Caitlin Clark has been hacked, shoved, and targeted since her rookie year. Sophie was taking cheap shots all season long. And what did the league do? Nothing. Over and over again. If this was the NBA, there'd be suspensions, fines, and nonstop debate on ESPN. But in the WNBA, silence. Fans are tired of it. They see what's happening. They're calling it out for what it looks like: jealousy, incompetence, and targeting. And Sophie's injury is proof. She had a target on her back, and now she's gone for the season. To make matters worse, how did the Fever respond? By signing Shea Petty, a 36-year-old veteran averaging 5 points per game. With all due respect, that's not replacing Sophie Cunningham. That's desperation. Fans wanted a move that showed the team was serious about competing, serious about supporting Caitlin Clark's return. Instead, they got a head-scratcher that left people shaking their heads. And let's circle back to the bigger issue here: WNBA leadership. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and even Adam Silver have done nothing to address the dirty play. No accountability, no protection for stars. And the result? Stars are falling, fans are frustrated, and the league's reputation is tanking. Fans bought tickets to watch Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Instead, they're watching injury lists, questionable signings, and a league office that feels completely out of touch. And the sad part? None of this is surprising anymore. It's the same cycle on repeat. Sophie wasn't going to win MVP or lead the league in scoring, but she gave fans something to connect with. She brought energy, toughness, and personality. She made Fever games fun to watch. And now, that's gone. Not because of bad luck, but because the WNBA refuses to protect its stars. And that brings us back to Bria Hartley. Her hit on Sophie was reckless at best, intentional at worst. Watch the replay. It wasn't just bad timing. It looked like a complete disregard for Sophie's safety. If the league had any backbone, there would be consequences. But once again, fans know nothing will happen. So here's the bottom line. Sophie Cunningham is out for the season. Caitlin Clark is back, and the WNBA is somehow turning what should have been a moment of excitement into another disaster. Fans are angry. They feel robbed, and they have every right to be. Until this league values growth over jealousy, competition over cheap shots, and accountability over silence, nothing will change. And the WNBA will keep stumbling, no matter how many Caitlin Clarks or Sophie Cunninghams come along. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this just bad luck? Or do you think Sophie was targeted? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more straight truth on sports.